Hello students, let's continue our lesson, that is 3 animal fiber. Animal fiber. Previously we discussed what is a fiber and how many types of fibers are there. What is a fiber? A fine, thin, a very thin strands, we call them as fiber. A fine thread like structure, a fine strand, we call it as a fiber. So these are of two types, fibers there are of two types. One is cellulosic and next one is non-cellulosic. One is from plants and other is from animals. From plants, okay, here two fibers, two types of fibers, cellulosic, non-cellulosic I said you. Natural and artificial, okay, this is synthetic. So we can say it as synthetic also, natural and synthetic. How many types of fibers? Two types of fibers, one is natural, next one is synthetic. What's the main difference between this? Both. Natural, it is from both plants and animals. It is from both plants and animals. No chemicals are involved in that. Whereas synthetic fibers, they are made from chemicals. Mostly they'll be made from pure chemicals. Pure chemicals are utilized there. Whereas here animal products or plant products are used. Examples we discussed: cotton, jute, okay, and wool and silk. Wool and silk. So cotton and jute we discussed. Okay, now we need to discuss about the animal fiber. We need to discuss about the animal fiber. And synthetic fibers you will be discussing, okay, you will be learning in your higher class, that's in your 8th class. So let's discuss about the animal fiber. How many types of animal fibers there? Two different types, mainly two different types of animal fibers there. One is wool, and next one is silk. Next one is silk. Let's discuss about this fiber, that is silk. Let's discuss about the silk fiber. Silk fiber. Okay, have you ever faced or have you ever seen silk fabric? Have you ever seen silk fabric? Okay, silk sarees, silk clothes, silk shirts, silk shirts. Okay, we even see, we even see or we even observe our mother having a silk sarees, and some other people. Okay, we see they'll wear silk shirts. Silk shirts. So it's a fabric. It is a fabric. Fabric which is woven from fiber, we call it as fabric. So let's see. Okay, first what happens? Okay, what are the different stages? From where do we get this silk? How many different types of silk are there? So let's observe this. Here silk, it is first, okay, silk moth. Silk moth, it lays eggs. It lays eggs. So hundreds of eggs are laid. Hundreds of eggs are laid by adult silk moth, a silkworm. Okay, so these eggs after, okay, are within 10 days. These eggs hatches into larva. It hatches into larva, L-A-R-V-A, larva. If it is singular, so we call it as larva, okay, a small worm which is obtained from this eggs, so we call it as larva. And if it is plural, so we say it as larvae. If they are many, so we say it as larvae. This larvae, all this larva, okay, in different stages, okay, where it develops. So this starts eating, okay, leaves. Okay, it starts eating leaves. Okay, which leaves? It starts eating mulberry leaves. It starts eating mulberry leaves. Starts eating mulberry leaves and even other leaves also. Okay, other leaves also. So here mainly, so this, okay, larva which is present here, okay, it starts eating, okay, this mulberry leaves. This is at the stage of caterpillar. It is a stage of caterpillar. Caterpillar stage. This is caterpillar stage. This caterpillar, it depends on, okay, all these leaves, different type of, okay, leaves which are provided to it. Especially this, we provide mulberry leaves. We provide mulberry leaves. This caterpillar, it keeps on eating, okay, nearly for 4 to 5 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks, approximately for 30 to 35 days. 30 to 35 days. It depends, or it eats. It eats this leaves nearly for 30 to 35 days. So after the 30 to 35 days, it attains a stage of pupa. It attains a stage of pupa stage. Here in this, we see the formation of cocoon. We see the formation of cocoon. Just understand this well now. Okay, I'll explain you clearly after this. So this caterpillar, when it eats, okay, this leaves nearly for 30 to 35 days. It's for 4 to 5 weeks. So it develops into another stage. We call it as pupa stage. We call it as pupa stage. This is pupa stage. This is pupa. So pupa stage. And here this is nothing but cocoon. Cocoon is formed. Cocoon. C-O-C-O-O-N. Cocoon is formed. And then this pupa, it emits outside. It exits outside from the cocoon and develops into a adult moth. It develops into a adult moth. Adult moth or adult worm. Adult worm. It develops into a adult worm. And then this adult worm, okay, again in few days again, okay, this adult one, it lays eggs. It lays eggs. Understand? It lays eggs. Again, so it lays hundreds of eggs, nearly about 500 eggs. It lays nearly about 500 eggs. How many eggs does it lays? Okay, nearly about 500 eggs were laid by this adult moth. And again, this eggs, it gets hatched, okay, into larva or larvae in 10 days. In 10 days. And again, this develops into caterpillar. Caterpillar, it starts eating this mulberry leaves, and then again it develops into pupa. Pupa into this adult moth, okay, adult worm, okay, and again it is further lays the eggs. It is a cyclic process. It is a cyclic process. So we call this as, okay, life cycle of a life cycle of a silk moth. Life cycle of silk moth. This is nothing but life cycle of silk moth. Did you understand? What do you call this as? Life cycle of silk moth. First, what happens? Adult moth, which is present, it lays eggs. Nearly about 500 eggs were laid, and this eggs, after 5 days, it gets turned, or it is hatched into larva or larvae, and this slowly develops into, okay, caterpillar stage. So for 30 to 35 days, it depends, or it eats this mulberry leaves, and later it don't start eating. Okay, it stops all that eating. It don't eat. It don't eat. So it remains in the cocoon. So listen, once what happens here? This larva, I'm giving a brief information regarding this. Try to understand this well first. Okay, so this larva which is present here, so actually we call this as chilikalu. Okay, so this cocoon stage, so we even call it as Bombyx mori. We will discuss that later, but first let's understand about this. This caterpillar, when we touch that, we see some blisters on our skin, and we try to keep that away. And also we get some itching sensation when it is near, or when you touch, when your skin touches that, okay, caterpillar, will have a itching sensation. So for this caterpillar, it eats thoroughly, it eats heavily for 30 to 35 days. 30 to 35 days, it eats continuously. Which of the caterpillar eats mulberry? So it gives you a type of silk. It eats, okay, different these caterpillars, they eat different leaves to produce different silk. Depending on the food material it is fed with, depending on the food material it is fed with. So we'll have related silk. Means what I mean to say here is we get different silk, different type of silks are there. One is eri silk, other one is tussar silk, another one is muga silk. Like this we'll have types of silks. This caterpillar, after eating for 30 to 35 days, it develops into a cocoon stage, that is pupa stage here. So mainly in this stage it releases a hard substance, a saliva, it releases saliva with its mouth. Example, this is the caterpillar, think it's a caterpillar. So this is a mouth region. Okay, it releases saliva and it waves it. While it is releasing saliva, it waves its head in the shape of 8. So it creates a ball-like structure around its body. It creates a ball-like structure. Once when this saliva is exposed to atmosphere, it becomes hard, it becomes rigid. This formation of ball-like structure around its body is nothing but cocoon, we call that as cocoon. And later, workers who are working in the silk industry or silk factory, they collect all this cocoons and they dump in the hot water. Why do they add this? We know inside this cocoon, this pupa is there. This organism is present. Once when these cocoons are added into hot water, what's going to happen? What will happen once when this cocoons are placed, are dumped, are deposited in hot water? We notice all these organisms which are present inside, they die, they lose their life. What's the necessity for these workers or for these people to kill this pupa which is present inside the cocoon? What's the necessity for them? Once when they added into this that organism, it died, it loses its life, it will be no more. They kill that so that this organism may not emit, or so that it may not come outside. Before it comes out, they kill that. If once it comes outside, it creates a hole. It breaks the thread which is present. Example, we are having thread. So this is a thread. Think it is a thread for us. There is a thread. So you are making like this. This is the thread which is made around, and the organism which is present inside this one. So when it tries to come outside, it should break that thread. It should create a hole like this. It should break that thread and comes outside. Break that and it comes outside. Simply it cannot make that separated. It cannot make that separated. Why? Because it is very hard. It cannot make that to be separated. It cannot create a hole like this. All the organisms cannot create a hole like this and cannot expel or cannot exit outside. Because it is very hard. It even should break that. What does it breaks? It breaks this fiber. Which fiber is this? Silk fiber. Silk fiber to be broken. It breaks, it makes into pieces and tries to escape outside. So before that, to avoid this breakage, if this is broken in between, so can we have a long fiber? No, we cannot have a long fiber. We need to have a fiber which is long. How long it is? They prefers, or they say that much quality or that much fine it is. How long? how strong, how shiny it is, that much quality it is. If it is less shiny, or if it is less, if it is less strength, with less strength, it can, if it can be broken easily, or if its length is small, they consider that as a poor quality fiber. For a good quality fiber, it should be lengthy, it should be shiny, and also it should be, it should remain stronger. So then, to avoid this breakage of the fiber, they dump in the hot water. As a result, so what happens? This cocoon, around the cocoon, the fiber which is present, that fiber, it becomes loose. And later they can obtain all this fiber. Do you know what's the length of the fiber? Here? It measures nearly about, the thread you get from the average cocoon ranges from about 1000 to 3000 feet. The thread which is obtained from a single cocoon, it is about 1000 to 3000 feet, and about 2000 to 3000 cocoons are required to make 500 gram of silk. That is about 50 lakh feet, or more than 1000 miles. Means here 1000 miles. Listen, what is happening? How much? Do you know from a single cocoon how much fiber is obtained? What's its length of the fiber from a cocoon? Example, this is a cocoon. Think this is a cocoon like this. This is a cocoon, and if you drop this into the hot water, we get a strong fiber. It becomes loose like this. So it can be separated easily. Like this. We can make into, we can draw this, a long fiber. We can get a long fiber like this. This long fiber, it measures nearly about 1000 to 3000 feet. 1000 to 3000 feet. And do you know, what's its 1000 to 3000 feet, and about 2000 to 3000 cocoons are required. Nearly here 2000 to 3000 cocoons are needed to get or to draw 500 gram of silk. 500 gram of silk. How many are required? We needs 2000 to 3000 cocoons are needed. To obtain how much silk? To obtain 500 gram. 500 gram means half kg. To obtain half kg of silk, we needs to kill nearly 2000 to 3000 pupas to be killed. And here, so from one cocoon, how much do we get? We get the fiber length about 1000 to 3000 feet of fiber is obtained. 1000 to 3000 feet of fiber is obtained. I repeat this once again. Try to understand this well. So this is a cocoon. Each cocoon, it gives a fiber about 1000 to 3000 feet. Fiber is obtained from one cocoon, that is. And to make, that's fine. To make a sari, to get 500 gram of silk, how many cocoons from how many cocoons we get this 500 gram of silk? We get 500 gram of silk from 2000 to 3000 cocoons. So did you understand what is a cocoon is? Cocoon is nothing but salivary, the saliva which is surrounded by an organism which is present. Here the caterpillar, we discussed about the caterpillar. Caterpillar, it releases saliva after 30 to 35 days. After 30 to 35 days, okay, within this period it eats all the leaves. After reaching this 30 to 35 days time or period, so we call it as pupa stage. We call it as pupa stage. In this pupa stage, this organism will be inside. Or we see this animal, it releases saliva and creates a layer around its body. It creates a layer around its body with its saliva. This saliva, okay, it turns into a fiber. Once when it is exposed to the atmosphere, it turns into a hard fiber. We call it as, okay, silk. So these people, what they will do, okay, they dump all these cocoons into the hot water. Why they should add into the hot water? We discussed already. I said you that to kill these organisms which are present inside. So once they are killed, they'll take, okay, large pots like this. They'll take large pots like this, and inside this they'll add hot water. Hot water is present, and they'll add this, okay, cocoons inside. Okay, hot water this is, and they'll add cocoons inside like this. Okay, so once when they add this, so it gets loosened. Okay, the fiber which is present here, it gets loosened. It becomes free, and they can obtain that silk fiber easily. And later, if they, okay, listen, if they did not kill this pupa, what's going to happen? This pupa, it develops into adult moth. This pupa develops into adult moth. Okay, adult moth or worm. Adult moth or worm. And this adult moth or worm, it, okay, lays eggs again and continues like that if it is not killed. But we people in this factory or in this industry, okay, in this mulberry industry, so we kill this pupa or this organism inside itself to get this fiber. Okay, and how it will be? Okay, let's observe this. Okay, they'll take into the hot water like this. So the this fiber, it becomes loose, and they'll keep their hands into it. Sometimes they even keep their hands into it. They collect all this, okay, loosened fiber. They collect all this loosened fiber. As a result, these people who are working in this industry or in this factory, they'll face many health problems, especially, okay, respiratory problems. The people who are working in this, they'll have many health problems, health issues. Whoever works in this industry, silk industry, they'll have many health hazards, health problems. Hazards, hazards, health hazards for these workers, health problems. So what are the different type of health problems they will face? Like asthma, they'll face health problem like asthma. They cannot respire properly, they cannot, okay, inhale, or they cannot exhale the gas properly, and they cannot withstand to the cold temperatures. If it is winter, they cannot respire properly. And also they'll have blisters on their, okay, hands. They have blisters on their hands. Why? Because they'll be always in contact with the hot water, so their hands and also the legs, they burn. Okay, burning sensation will be, okay, their hands and also their hands, they burns. Okay, that's the other problem faced by the people who are working in, okay, silk industry. Do you know in which places this silk is? Do you know in which places this silk is processed? Here, let's see, silk moth. They sell the silk moths also. People, they sell silk moths also. Not only eggs, they sell eggs, they sell larvae, and they even sell silk moth. Listen, people, they sell eggs, they sell larvae, they even sell this caterpillar cocoons. They even sell this cocoons and adult moth. Did you understand? I repeat this once again. So whatever are present here, all this was sold. All these were sold. Okay, there will be a centers. There will be centers. What do we call that centers as? Silk moth selling places are centers. We call them as grenages. We call them as grenages. G-R-I. Silk moth. Here, this one. Okay, we call this as grenages. G-R-I-N-A-G-E-S. What do you mean by grenages here? Grenages are nothing but silk moth or silkworm. Okay, selling centers. Silk moth or silkworm selling centers. They sell silk moth here. Okay, what do we call those as? We call the centers as grenages. Do you know where it is? It is present in Chittoor. It is present in Chittoor, that is in AP. Okay, Horsley Hills. It is in Horsley Hills. Horsley Hills in Chittoor. That is in AP, Chittoor district, AP. So that is Andhra Pradesh here. Okay, that is one of the grenages. What do you mean by grenages here? Grenages are nothing but it's a place where adult moth or adult worm is sold. Okay, that's one. And next, stifling we call it as. What is stifling here? Stifling. Other point is, one is grenage here. Did I understand this well? And other one is stifling. Okay, S-T-I-F-F-L-I-N-G. What is stifling? Stifling is nothing but they will boil the boiling of cocoons in hot water nearly for 10 to 15 minutes. Nearly for 10 to 15 minutes is known as stifling. I repeat this once again. What is stifling here? Stifling is a process of heating. The stifling is a process of boiling of cocoons nearly for 10 to 15 minutes to loosen the fiber is known as stifling. Did you understand? What is stifling here? Stifling is a process of boiling cocoons in hot water nearly for 10 to 15 minutes to loosen the fiber is known as stifling. Is known as stifling. S-T-I-F-F-L-I-N-G. Stifling. And next, where do we get this cocoons? Do you know where they were sold? I told you apart from this mulberry, that is a different type of silks we are having. That is Desali Pattu, or we even call it as Tasar silk. Next one is other one Muga, different type of silks. Let me write for you here. Types of silks. Types of silk. One is Eri silk. Next one is Muga silk. Muga silk. Another one is Eri silk, Muga silk, and Tasar silk. Other one is Tasar silk. So these are the different variety of silks which are available for us. What are they? Eri silk, Muga silk, and Tasar silk. Okay, how do we get different silks here? We get different silks because caterpillars, they are fed with different food materials. Different food materials. Basing on the food materials they eat or they depends on, we get different type of silks. So what are the different type of silks here? Eri silk, Muga silk, and Tasar silk. Listen once again here. What is grenages? Grenages are nothing but a place where silk moths are sold. What is stifling here? Stifling is a process of boiling of cocoons. Nearly for 10 to 15 minutes they boil it so that the fiber is loosened. This is called as stifling. And we see different type of silks. I told you Eri silk, Muga silk, and Tasar silk. And next I told you from each cocoon we get a fiber of 30 to 30,000 1000 to 3000 feet of silk is produced, and nearly